Hello, it's the Yarn Closet from Tucson, Arizona. I am Laura, and today is the prize day. I am the Yarn Closet Facebook page, Yarn Closet Arizona on Ravelry, and the Yarn Closet group on Ravelry. We've opened 2 threads on there. One is to encourage members. So there's a gift for 25 members, 50 members, and 100 members. At each milestone, we'll randomly draw a name and send out a gift, and I'm going to go over those shortly. I'm also Yarn Closet Arizona on Instagram. Oh, the little rabbits are outside. I can see them. Crazy. We have a family of rabbits that live under our shed, which is insane because we have 3 dogs. And I started a thread on the Ravelry group for Christmas sock. So if you post a picture and give an explanation of the picture, you make socks for somebody, then in January I will randomly draw a name and send out a gift. Why, you wonder, all this excitement? Technically, I believe this is episode 10. It's hard to keep track because my kids like to throw in bonus content and my kids like to participate. So there is a lot of what just happened and we didn't talk all the stuff I wanted to talk about. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. As we talked about in the last episode, my husband and I went to Vegas last weekend for a wedding. It was beautiful, it was fun, it was good to see family. We're going to be traveling to Alpine, Arizona later this month to participate in a hunt for my stepdad. He got drawn for elk. And that will be lovely because it will be much cooler. I'm from Minnesota, so I love the cold weather. And it's over my birthday. My 47th birthday. Yeah. I don't know what happened because life was going pretty good. I was adjusting to that slow progression of age. Met a great guy, got married again. I was 42. Then I was 43 having a baby. OMG. That jump-started the aging process. All of a sudden, I was aging. And then we found out afterwards, well, actually, while I was pregnant, we found out. And afterwards, I had a few surgeries because I kept having tumors that were progressing along the histology route, and we didn't want it to turn into cancer. So I had a hysterectomy. And of course, that jump-started more graying hair and more changes in my skin and more wrinkles. And I have had a hard time catching up. It's not something women talk a lot about. You know, everybody's like, great, you're having a baby, yay. They don't really tell you all the stuff because nobody wants to scare you. And because some women just have a great time. But I think that's the same in aging. Nobody really warns you that one day what you see in the mirror just looks like a different person. I don't entirely know if my poor vision, I'm legally blind, if that makes it a little bit harder for me to cope with. Because I can't quite tell. So if I think something is more wrinkly, more gray, I assume it's worse than I can tell. I don't know. But that was part of the motivation to jump into the podcast world and become a part of the conversation and share with friends and make more connections because it doesn't get easier the older we get. So, the Christmas sock group on the Ravelry, the Yarn Closet group on Ravelry. You will get a book of sock patterns from Knit Picks. There are a few highlighter moments, nothing problematic. My 3-year-old daughter, you know. And a lovely Millville wool project. I've been wanting to get some of this myself. Yeah. Anyway, 120 grams super sock, 90-10 merino superwash merino nylon, 400 yards. In this Hawaiian bloom is the color. You know, it's fun. I don't want to pull it apart too terribly much because I'm not fabulous at getting them back together. But I think it would knit up to be fun color changing, or, you know, a really neat shawl. That's for the January. You'll get it in January. The first podcast in January, we will pull the name, and there you go. Now, for the group in Ravelry, once I hit 25 members, and I believe I'm at 3, including myself, I will randomly pull a name. I have this lovely little, I have a few of these and I really like them. They're just a generic random small bag. You can compress it pretty easily, but it's got that kind of plasticky lining, you know. It's a little bit soft, in a really cool gray owl pattern, a few stitch markers, because we all need those, a 50-gram skein of Felici Seafaring, a 50-gram skein of Felici Stormy Sky, I believe, and those are both superwash merino wool nylon 75-25. I think most people are familiar with those. And the Knit Picks Socks for All Seasons Toasty Toes book. And this one is pristine. I've not knit anything out of any of the books that I give away. Because I don't believe in me buying a pattern and knitting it up and then giving it to Susie Q and her knitting it up and then the next one. Because regardless if this is Knit Picks or somebody who's an independent, pattern designers deserve their money. There may be times that I give away a book that I've knit a pattern, but that's because I would have 2 copies, or a pattern that I would have purchased 2 copies. I tend to like electronic better because I can do screen readers and things like that versus keeping track on a written page, although sometimes I like to have it if I think I'm going to be modifying so I can write down. But you know how we all are with that. Okay, so that was the 25 person. Let's get to 25 people and somebody will win that lovely gift. I do have the gifts all posted in picture form with descriptions on the Ravelry, the Yarn Closet page. So I don't forget and for accountability. Okay, this is one of those pattern times 2 because once we hit 50 people, I have a pattern I purchased by Kate Atherley, the Side Effects Shawl knitting pattern. It's a 1 skein pattern. Fabulous. But there's a chart in there, and I can't for the life of me figure out charts yet. I can do charts in crochet, but I can't in knitting. So there's a few stitch markers. There is a lovely clover magnetic Have you seen these? Rulers, so you can keep track of where you're at in your pattern, which line you're on. You know, you put your pattern between it and you can read the line. I love it. Love it. I actually use them. Because I use a lot of interesting things to help me with my vision. And I think a lot of us as we age could use them too. I think large print should be implemented across the board, because then we wouldn't have as much eye strain, even the young people. These are these goofy circular needle holders. And remember that off-brand of circular needles that I was raving about? Here is one in a 4.5, which is recommended by the pattern. And you get the yarn needle. And I am kind of a fan of Knit Picks for the prices and the basic quality of the yarn. Knit Picks, the Hawthorne fingering in Goddess kettle dye. It is a 80-20 superwash fine Highland wool, 20% polyamide, 100 grams, 357 yards. And it's in a purple. It's not quite as bright as I think it's showing up there, but I think most people are familiar with their stuff. So that's the 50. Let's get to 50 people and somebody will get this lovely prize. Dun, dun, dun. Then, if we can get to 100 members on the Yarn Closet Ravelry group, you get a fabulous prize. I've purchased a number of bags from Darn Yarn, Minnesota, because I'm from Minnesota and because her patterns are cool, her sizes are neat. So here is a sock, marketed as a sock project bag. It's got the snap at the top, so that's nice. But the really cool thing is it can stand. If you fold it down, it can stand. And it's like a 2-ball project, because if you do 2 at a time socks, you can have 1 ball on each side. It's separated by this little zipper pocket. I tend to find the zipper pockets in these a little small, but it's still fabulous. Okay. And then, one of a kind wooden cup with another one of those circular needle holders. I think these are really, really handy. Stitch markers, because we all need them, always, constantly. Carpet eats stitch markers, chairs eat stitch markers, and a retractable measuring tape. Knit Picks, 80-20 polyamide, fine Highland wool, Hawthorne fingering in Love Joy. Here it is in the skein. I really like it because it's purples with a pop of orange, which I think is a great combination, but it's done really, really subtly. And here, I have some caked up. So that's what it's like caked up. It's just kind of gorgeous. And yeah, here, I have a little tiny swatch of it knit up. Isn't that kind of fun? Yeah, so the top color is the Lovejoy. And yeah, can you see my boyfriend pajama jeans? I love them. I'm going to be 47. They're comfortable. They're drawstring waist. They actually feel jeany, but very thin. So it's fun and fabulous. So there are all of our gifts. So go, go, go. Subscribe here. Go to Ravelry. Look for the Yarn Closet. Join the group. Get in on it, and you might get one of the prizes. Now, if you saw episode 9, you know I got another off-brand cheap set of circular needles. And if you go to Amazon and you look up this set and go through and watch the video that Happy Knits put on, you'll also get a discount code. I don't remember if it was 10 or 20%. These are aluminum. They're 5 millimeter to 12.75 millimeter. I've knit with them. They knit just fine. They are not lace sharp point, and they have that plastic tube that's not great. But like I said before, one of the tricks, these are long enough to do magic loop. If you straighten them out and get your hair dryer and just hair dry them a bit, they do loosen. I think it helps. I don't know. But then you put them back in here and then they just jump right back in. So who knows? And I have washed this case because it doesn't feel nice, but it's a case. It's functional. You know, we like yarn because it's squishy. We like the softness. We like the glide. We like the texture. We knit cables because they feel good. And so I think a lot of us have quilted needle cases because they're soft and they're nice. And so that's pretty much for $20. That's pretty much my biggest complaint. It's not the best cable. The needle itself is longer. But for $20, you know, you're not going to care if you lose it. Or it bends ridiculously because somebody steps on it or breaks it or whatever. And these things happen. They do happen. I have one needle that looks like steps. It's just so wonky. I'm not exactly sure how, but I'm pretty sure a 3-year-old had something to do with it. And so that is episode 10. And as long as my friends continue to comment, not criticize my hair or sometimes my lack of makeup, I'm seriously considering permanent makeup. Seriously. Any thoughts? Feedback? I mean, I've got other tattoos, a lot of them. It would be nice. I'd then know, you know, I have a standard look, and I'll know that I didn't put lip liner for my eyeliner or my eyebrow little bit of pencil that I use. I don't do mascara anyway because it bothers my eyes. Lipstick is like my big wow factor. Thoughts? And once again, if we continue to grow, so will the prizes. And I appreciate that you are enjoying a family-friendly yarn podcast. Oh, and on that note, I haven't crocheted much this last year because I've been trying to really cement this knitting thing that I finally figured out with Continental. Thank you, Laura Lee Beltman. Did an online class with her. But we've got a few babies at work, at school, and so I am crocheting just a large acrylic, so I've got a few skeins of acrylic, some baby blankets. And it's been hard to kind of get in the zone. I started a star and I just felt like it was too loosey-goosey. And I don't have a lot of time because we're presenting stuff October 24th. And I still have Christmas knitting I want to do. My sister got one of those cocoon sweaters from me last year that I crocheted, but with a really neat square pattern. And then I don't remember if how I finished it off, if it was with a granny square or just solid. I think it was just solid. And I would really like to do a cowl or a poncho for her. I know she'd like a poncho, and now I have some nice yarns because my sister deserves cashmere. So I just need to get on from this baby thing at school and feel like I have some time. But then the woman I work with in the library is going to be on maternity leave, so my hours are going to like double during November and December. So I just have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen. And I'm tired. It has been so long since I got home on a Friday, and I'm just exhausted and feel a real sense of weekend, blissful weekend. Part of the reason I feel that this week is the science project, the 6-component science project for my 6th grader. We did a diorama, we did a PowerPoint, and when I say we, he did the diorama. That wasn't me. But I went in and typed and like maneuvered with the PowerPoint and did all the typing after he dictated to me a story that he had to write. He dictated a brochure, and he came up with kind of the format. He dictated a song, but I had to type it, and he dictated a 30-question test, an answer key. But then I went in and typed it all up because he doesn't know how to do that. So we're signing him up for an online typing course in hopes that he really likes it and it helps him engage better with all this computer stuff that just, bam, they need to do. So that was hours of my time. Back in the day when I could see better, I'm a great typist, so it wouldn't have taken as long, and I certainly don't mind. And he got extra credit. He got extra credit because he only needed to do one component. But he was so overwhelmed when they were explaining it that he didn't catch that. So we did all of it. And he had fun, and he has a great sense of humor, and it really showed in the different project components. But yeah, mom life, total mom life week. So here is a really fast, well, I try to keep them under a half an hour. Episode 10, the Yarn Closet. It is the gift episode. So let's reach some milestones and get some gifts out. Okay, people? Thank you.